time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. Steve-O, JB, B. Hudson, and T. Swin. Gon' get your mind right, let's dive in the deep end and attack the issues and problems that hound us today. Yeah, we out here in the field, but we ain't coming to play. We all shepherds trying to keep the flock from going astray. If you wanna be the change, then let's be it today. Now there's always obstacles that's gonna get in your way, but it's important how you handle it, maneuver and pray. We keep you up to date with current affairs. We all know that the structure been broken, so let's make the repairs. There's a culture trying to cancel us and give you a spin, but you can come and get the truth from this panel of men. We on 10, going in, let the speech be free. We about to knock down the doors, you can keep the key. God first, then man, so let's execute the plan and deliver the message so the people can understand. Like, the time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. The time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. Men can't always be. Men can't always be. Men can't always be wrong.
What up, everybody? It's your guy T. Swin back in the building, man. This is the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast brought to you by CTR Media. I'm your guy T. Swin, one of your hosts. Man, tonight we got a good show. We got a couple guests on to talk about the topic. Are men to blame? And it's been a lot of discussions about relationships between men and women. A lot of times, men have been blamed for the bad decisions that women are making. So we're going to talk about that tonight, man, and how it plays. So I'm going to bring in one of the other hosts, my boy JB.
How's it going tonight, everybody? This is your boy JB. As usual, just giving my honest opinion. This your average Joe.
And now, man, our next guest is my twin brother, Mr. Captain T.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Captain T in the building, live and direct, black captain out here in the real world, making it happen. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yes, sir. And man, y'all know this is my boy, King David.
How's everybody doing?
What's up to the people?
How's everybody doing? It's your boy King David. Hey, thanks for having me on.
All right, man. And we got a great show for y'all tonight, man. We got a topic, man. 4 men talking about this. We've all experienced this in some kind of way, and we got some observations and some knowledge about this topic, man. Men, the blame being placed on men for things they didn't do, for decisions that women made, you know, dealing with relationships. So I got a little clip, man. I got a little clip I'm gonna play. It comes from the Lapeef Network. They was having a discussion about marriage validates women, not men. But they were talking about young men and policing young men, saying that the reason for all these single baby mamas and stuff like that was because of the men can't control themselves and not holding the women accountable. So I'm gonna play this clip for y'all.
Come on with it.
I know there's a lot of times finger pointing and blame game, but essentially a woman has to give permission for everything. Y'all give y'all the gateway. We have the master key, but y'all got the lock. So y'all give permission to everything. So if I can get all the way to somewhere where you tell me where you're not a certain type of woman, were you really the person you said you were? So if our sons end up being sexualized and having more sex than marriages, is that because of the men, or is it women giving permission to that man to have sex with her? If y'all give us permission for everything. I can't hold you. I can't kiss you. I can't take you on dates. I can't be intimate with you unless you give permission. So don't you have way more power over the state of society than we do?
Yeah, I really think that if we teach our sons that you are valuable, you are way more than that, than to just have sex with these girls because they opening their legs up to you. You ain't gotta do none of it. Like, that's what I feel.
So we teaching our sons to be virgins, but women can have high body counts.
I didn't say that.
So what are we teaching then?
I said she ain't got to open her leg. You teach your daughter the same thing. Value yourself. We always tell women.
No. If we're teaching men to be established, to be able to take care of himself and the family, hold on. And he
let her finish. I would like to hear a thought. You kind of.
I was talking, Ms. Sheba. And a woman, the only thing a woman has to do is show up with her being valuable. Showing up as a woman with some type of chastity and be a woman for him to take care of. If she doesn't show up as that type of woman, how does he get a wife?
No,
How is it put on him?
Yes, sir, man. So from that clip, man, what y'all think? What y'all thoughts on that clip, man, and what y'all heard?
Man, my opinion, I think he ruffled a couple of fellas because that made the other woman chime in ASAP before he even finished his point when he was getting across.
Yeah, what'd you say, JB?
I was going to say facts. That's what I heard.
Yeah, facts. Now it was a part in that clip where he said, "Man, we raising our young men to be virgins, but we raising our females to have high body counts." You know, and in that clip, I didn't hear any accountability for the females. You know, because like when we grew up, they mentioned this. They say grandma would tell a girl, "Hey, quit being fast." But nowadays, girls are being pushed to be fast and be free and wild. You know what I'm saying? There's no accountability on them, but still men get dogged out. They still want a man to be traditional and hold all his traditional values, but they want women to run wild. You know?
Man, you see it now so bad on social media, all this TikTok and all that stuff. It be mother and daughters out there popping and twerking together like they have no barrier between self-respect for themselves. The mother has no self-respect. So the daughter not gonna have any because she being shown the same thing. You can pop, shake, pop your ass on whatever, and nobody got the right to judge you.
Yeah.
Well, to me, my thing is this, man. Grandma 40, daughter 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still that's the problem.
Shit.
Yeah.
So,
grandma's
you know,
not. They 33.
At the club together.
Yeah, exactly. So mother and daughter, they friends. They don't have that age gap anymore. You know what I'm saying?
There's no level of respect. You know,
exactly.
we had the other day between mother and daughter.
Yeah.
You know, and we had this discussion, you know, on our previous, you know, deal. And it's no different. The fact of the matter is there's no levels of respect where you say, you know what, you said it like Tony, you hit the nail on the head. It's like, you know what, I feel kind of weird even having a drink around my dad because I hold him to such a higher level. So the concept is kind of the same where it's like, who goes out and parties with their mother, goes drinking with their mom, you know, twerking with their mom out there, you know what I'm saying? Out there just doing wrong with their mother. You know, and then the mother's okay with that. That kind of tells you. So the apple don't fall far.
Exactly.
You kind of see what I'm saying. So how is it that we're the ones that are being demonized or being held accountable for poor parenting?
Exactly. Like for how they act.
Exactly.
Some people say
from the top.
Some people say the women act because the way they act due to men. But if there's no men in the household, how can you blame it on men?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If there was no father figure, there's no example. How can you blame it on men? But okay, another thing too is like us coming up, man. When I was coming up, it wasn't the dudes you had to worry about. It was the girls trying to give it away to the dudes. You know what I'm saying? It was for real. In my area, it was the girls trying to give it away to the dudes. So like we had girls that would come to school, change clothes, and then jump in cars with grown men, or they jumped in the cars with the dope dealers. You know what I'm saying? And then if you try to holler at them, they would call you immature because they talking to grown men who gonna buy them who gonna buy them a burger and some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So we had that going on. We had a bunch of girls in high school. We had girls that were sleeping with the whole basketball team, whole football team. We had people doing fellatio. We had girls doing fellatio for $1 in the bathroom. This is on their own will. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody making them do it. Ain't nobody holding a gun to their head. They were doing it on their own. You know what I'm saying? We had girls that had multiple. It was one chick I wanted to holler at, and then my friend told me, "Hey, I don't think you want to talk to her, man. She a hoe." And I was like, for real? She's like, yeah, she done had 3 abortions in this year. She said, just ask her. I say, oh, okay. So I go and I ask her, I say, hey man, so-and-so told me you had 3 abortions this year. She's like, yeah. She was sleeping with grown men. She was one of the girls that was skipping school sleeping with grown men. You know? So I say, man, they want to put the responsibility on the guys, but don't nothing happen unless a woman allows it. Other than that, it's forced. You know what I'm saying? You go to jail for that. So I'm saying, so who can you put the blame on?
Man, back then we had a lot of playground predators. That's what we used to call them. Grown guys riding around the school all day long, morning in the morning, especially when school let out. And then you would see it every day, man, around lunchtime. They skipping, boom, jumping in the car with some grown ass man about to go get knocked off. And then they wonder why. We used to make bets on who would get pregnant, remember?
Yeah.
We used to make bets on time.
I even remember the vehicle.
And was never wrong on who was gonna be knocked up before the school year was over.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem though. But that's who's teaching our children now. See,
Yeah.
So our generation time.
Yeah.
Out there partying is the same one we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they don't just passed on.
Same age, because we're all in our early 40s. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? They're the same ones that got knocked up when they were like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
You know, add 20, 35. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, man. I was married to one.
Bro, that shit is that's the norm now. You have these young mothers that have these young kids. You know what I'm saying? And before she's even 40, you know, you're not even 40 years old and your kids already graduated from high school. What could you possibly what life experience? What life experience could a 35-year-old, you know, raising a child from 15 could possibly teach a child? Zero.
Exactly.
So
what you got, Joe?
So somewhere between this is the way I feel about it. So somewhere between our generation and the generation before us, somewhere it got broken. So what generation is that fault? Is it our parents' fault or is it our fault?
I think it's our fault. I think it's our fault. Our generation.
So because like it seemed like to me a lot of people nowadays.
I felt that we had decent parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like this.
You chose to listen or you didn't. You know, but for the most part, I listened to my parents. You know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of scared of them because we didn't want to get whooped. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We actually got our ass kicked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but you had a lot of single mother families, you know, where they didn't have the time or the time to even police their children because they were working. They weren't bad parents.
Yeah.
They were just absentee parents because they were working, trying to take care. These are single family homes, single parent homes. You know what I'm saying? Where they didn't have the opportunity to sit there and actually be a good parent because they were trying to bring home the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily blame the parents because this is basically an example of what happens when children police themselves, when they raise themselves, when television.
They don't always fail. They set themselves up for failure.
Exactly. This is
I put it like this.
This is the example where it started in the trickle down effect. You know,
I was married to one. Prime example. I was married to one. The woman I'm divorcing right now. She's 8 years younger than me. She's 35. She's already a grandmother. She was a mother of two by the time she was 17. And guess what happened to her? And she had two girls. And guess what happened to the second daughter? She was pregnant at 17. Had a baby before she even turned 18. And guess what? My future ex-wife was excited about it. I looked at her like, you fucking crazy. You should be pissed off and mad that she got knocked up. She following the same footsteps. She repeating the same cycle. She not breaking the cycle. She was excited as hell that her daughter was pregnant in high school.
So essentially, the girl, she's condoning it. She's condoning that behavior.
Yeah, and then she had the nerve. The stepdaughter had the nerve to not want to go to school because she didn't want nobody to talk about her because she was pregnant. What you expect?
Yeah.
You set yourself up to be a target.
Well, you set yourself up for a target and you don't want to be held accountable at the same time because of the shame that you brought upon yourself.
And what caliber dude was the baby daddy?
Oh
man, deadbeat loser. Hey, the prime example of most of these youngsters nowadays, skinny, don't even look like he can lift a gallon of milk. Skinny jeans on, sagging beneath his ass with his underwears hanging out in broad daylight.
So she picked the winner.
Oh yeah, she picked the winner. She picked the real winner. They ain't got one muscle in his body.
And his album has auto-tune.
His favorite rapper got auto-tune on every verse.
Oh, NBA young boy, that's who it is.
His name is Lil Shit Stain.
That's basically what he looked like.
Yeah.
So I was actually not even being my biological child. I was kind of mad at the situation, but what could I do? I didn't have no feedback because she was being a friend instead of being a mother. She had gave the girls so much leeway. Let them spend the night at anybody's house all during the week. Let them go, and one of them had a driver's license. Let them go anywhere they wanted to. And then you wonder why you come home and you finding 6 boxes of pregnancy tests in the trash can because they both testing to see if they're pregnant. Then you want to start crying. But you gave them the keys to go get knocked up.
Yeah.
But the boys, it was 4 boys in the house. The boys sitting in the house, all trapped inside the house, can't go nowhere, can't spend the night with none of their buddies. But you had a leash on them, but you let the girls have free reign.
Yeah.
And you know what's gonna happen? She gonna be raising. I'm gonna put it like this: she wasn't a mother, she was a friend, and she's gonna be raising them grandbabies that her daughters make because they are kids themselves. They're not even old enough to they just barely turned 18 and 19. They still babies. You got teen on the end of your age, you still a child. In my mindset, you might think you're grown or want to be grown or ready for the real world, but you don't know a damn lick of what it takes to fight this battle in the real world. You're gonna be struggling your whole life, and they're trying to do it with a kid on your hip, and you got a deadbeat that you chose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You chose your future, and me and Tony had this discussion a long time ago. A lot of people make decisions in a haste that affect them, have long-term effects. Long-term effects. And all of us, we all made decisions in our lives that had long-term effects also.
Yeah.
But due to this situation, man, they all happy and excited, but they don't see just how hard they made their life.
They don't see the big picture.
Yeah. Another thing too is that once that kid comes into play, you're no longer a child yourself. You didn't remove your childhood. You're responsible for somebody else.
Yeah, you're innocent.
So you need to take care of that responsibility. Ain't no hitting the club and trying to leave that baby on everybody. And another thing too, if you got younger siblings, they're not supposed to be your babysitters. That's your responsibility. You know. And so and she let her daughter run free, and that was the effect. You know, that happened out of that. There was a consequence that happened out of that.
What is the consequence of that?
And so another thing too. Yeah, go ahead.
Friend. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is with this age gap. You know what I'm saying? When you have young parents don't know how to be parents. They can't fathom on what being a proper parent is because again, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically kids raising kids.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. So you have kids raising kids, and then basically the kids aren't raising their kids, and television and social media is raising kids, and this is what you have now. Yeah. Because most of these children are policing themselves; they're raising themselves, and this is the product that you have. You know, this is the product that you have now.
Yeah.
And they all have that give no fucks happen.
And I'm a yeah. Now I'm a
problem is they don't want to be held. They have no sense of accountability. They have zero. Zero sense of work. They don't even understand what work is. You know, they're in the workforce. Ain't nobody gonna hire them.
My thing is this: it's the world that we're in now. Everybody's self-centered. You know, like our generation. I think we're probably gonna be the last generation to think, okay, we're gonna take care of it. If I win, everybody wins. But now these people up under us, and some of the women that we with is me. I need to do. Not we, not the whole team. It's just me. So that's the problem. Everybody's nobody don't look out for one another. Not even your own family anymore. It's just what I need to do or what I need to take care of. or what you can do for me, you know. So that's the problem.
Yeah. A lot of another thing too, man.
Go ahead.
A lot of times too, these girls they picking some real winners. A lot of times when you have these situations, they don't pick any high caliber guys. They pick these deadbeats. They pick the deadbeats, and so you hear all these women complaining about these fathers of deadbeats. Ain't no father, ain't no real men. But they keep picking the guys that are not men. You know.
Bingo.
And so but it's a gang of good guys out there, but they ain't paying no attention to them. They ain't looking.
No,
Them guys is invisible.
They shooting for the real losers with the big L on them, man. If they ain't running around smoking weed, popping pills, getting high, entertaining all the dumb rap music they make nowadays that's set up for self-destruction. The rap music too plays a big part in it. They all talking about self-hate and killing each other, and all the female rappers is talking about popping their ass and twerking all day long. The sad part is you see mothers. Now it's the high school kids and teenage kids, right? And you see the mothers rapping every word for word on them lyrics, all these pussy popping songs.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. We had this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, wait, man. I was just saying they rapping all these lyrics, and this person is 20 years younger than they are. Well, you know, you're the example, and you listen to Cardi. You 40 something. Listen to Cardi B, is she 30? I don't know. Nothing against Cardi. She can jam, but
yeah, I think so.
But
yeah,
you
Cardi got a husband and a family.
Exactly. You listen to all these people. You listen to Beyonce.
At the end of the day, Cardi's an entertainer. This is what she gets.
Exactly.
That's her job. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just funny to me that they listen to Cardi, they listen to Beyonce, all these people, Rihanna, but all of them got men.
Yeah, they all got husbands.
All of them got men.
I mean, but at the end of the day, all of these people you're describing are in committed relationships, like you're saying, but this is their job. They're entertainers.
They're entertainers. Yeah.
And when the lights go off, they go back to their life, and they're not even affected. You know,
9 times out of 10, they don't even live the life that they promote.
Exactly.
And I agree with that. That's why I think like with movies and stuff, we know that people know movies are entertainment, but these kids don't realize that music is entertainment.
It's not real life.
It's not real life. And they don't realize that.
Well, the concept also is they think the social media is real life. It's entertainment.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Some of them people the same ages.
You know,
some of the people the same age as us. They let social media influence them. Have people be like, well, look how many purses he bought his wife. He must really love her. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then they cause conflicts in their own relationships in their homes. Now, one thing that was said at toward the end of that snippet is that old dude was like, he was like, we raising our sons, to be very, but you're not raising your daughters with any chastity, so they could be good wife candidates for these boys when they get grown. Now, two of the people on the panel got sons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be good future candidates for wives for your sons when they grow up?
I really don't think so.
I'm moving to Japan, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Hey man, I wish I could go back, man. I wish I could go back.
I feel like I talk to my sons all the time. I have 2 boys, one 16, one 11, and they honestly don't really see no need for it, man. In the future, they don't see it happening. And then I always tell them, man, they seen the stuff that I've went through, and they look around at all the girls in their school. Like I got one that's a junior in high school right now, and he's not happy with what he sees. And the same thing that we over here talking about, he sees it all through the hallways in every class. You don't see any girl that's a good candidate for him to even try to holler at and date in high school, because they all on the same thing.
Gotcha.
Here's another thing as well, and again, kind of backtracking to our previous video. When we were younger, we used to, we used to kind of hang out. We used to go to certain nightclubs, this, that, and the other. It wasn't like, it was not really promoted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went to certain, gentlemen's clubs and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? That was like a small percentage of things to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it's like this is the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like what was taboo 20 years ago is now normal. This is normal, you know, today. So it's like you have girls that are in high school that like, all right, I got to go work at the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. It's like I got to get, you know, I got to go make this money. But that is their philosophy. Their philosophy is this is being promoted. You know, you know, this is normal to them. So, and then on top of that, you turn on the television, and this is what's being promoted by your artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, oh, this is all good. I'm gonna shake my ass in the club, and I'm gonna get paid. Well, I'm gonna get paid by one of these ball players. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna get paid on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Basically.
So promote. You're just basically promoting being trifling. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you're promoting being trifling since from birth. You know, so it's like, okay, what kind of possible, you know, result would you not get? You know what I'm saying? If this is all you're promoting on how you're supposed to make it through life, ball player, you know, turning tricks or working in the club. You know what I'm saying?
We all know what goes on in the club.
There's
only two things go on at the butt naked. You either stripping or you selling ass. That's the only two things that go on at the butt naked.
Yeah.
And then, you know what you've seen over time, the strip club was a man thing. Then it turned into, there's more females go to the strip club than dudes now.
That's right.
I seen that the strip club had turned into the regular club. The regular clubs weren't even hitting no more. The strip club was the place to be at. It was going down. Live DJ, the wings. They got the hot wings for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all the pretty girls in there, but you can't find no good woman.
And you
can't date no stripper. And then you damn sure ain't gonna find a good woman that don't mind hanging out at the strip club and being around other butt naked women.
Yeah.
But then you know these girls now, man, like these girls in even in middle school, they sexualize it now. Man. Like they you 16, you tatted up, got your stomach out, got a short dress, and they just like, oh, it's normal. It's like,
no, they got body count. You know what I'm saying? The same part is like we're talking about middle school with body count. That is normal now.
Yeah, it's normal now.
That is normal now.
And all this music, all this music promotes it. And then, you know, you had was that Bad Baby? What's her name? The young girl.
Yeah. Catch Me Outside girl.
Yeah, Catch Me Outside. She young as hell promoting all this stuff. And then I heard she had got an OnlyFans too, and she made like millions
when she
of dollars.
Turned 18. When she turned 18, she made millions.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that follow. It's a lot of young females that follow. But on the other side, every day we see in the male speech, toxic masculinity. We seeing male speech get policed. You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything. You can't hold nobody accountable. You say, hey, I think that's wrong. Hey, I think your dress is too high. I think the clothes is a little bit too tight. You know what I'm saying? And then you being misogynistic, or you being hateful, or you shaming somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now today, man, the people, the ladies are even heavier than they was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's called body shaming. When it's a dude, you just fat and sloppy. You a dude, you fat and sloppy. They're gonna talk about you all day. You know? You say it's a double standard, man.
Yeah, like they treat us all equally, but no, man and female. But when it comes down to it, responsibility wise, they're not held accountable for anything.
No.
You know, we held to a standard.
No.
But when they mess up, now you're a girl now. Now you're a woman. now you're female. But you done did all this.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, today I hear 4 or 5 baby daddies and saying it was a dude's fault. Now you take a look at that and do the math on it. You got 4 or 5 different baby daddies, and all these kids got different dads. Not damn one of them chose to stick it around with you. There's something wrong with you. Yeah. And then there's something wrong with you mentally. Open your legs for everybody that passed through and giving them a baby, thinking that's gonna hold on to them or you're gonna have a future. But you complaining. Also, you complaining about the last baby daddy when you went and got the next baby daddy who ain't no better than the last baby daddy. Then you complain about baby daddy number 2, then you go get baby daddy number 3. And the process repeats itself. And then you try to find you a good guy. who don't have
Come
none
pick
of
up
the
the slack.
baggage that you got that's gonna pick up the slack. But you don't want him to have no baggage.
Yeah. Now who's at fault for those decisions that she made?
Her and herself alone.
Mm-hmm. Now, man,
Yeah.
now when I was in high school, I'm gonna tell a story real quick. Now, when I was in high school, it was a girl that I liked. She liked me. At first, when I told her I liked her, she said she liked me as a friend. Later on, she started crushing on me too. And so at school, they used to sell the seniors. We were seniors. They used to sell the seniors t-shirts in the senior store. So I worked in the store part-time. She asked me, she gave the money to me and told me to get her senior shirt for her. I said, okay, cool. You can just go in there and buy one. She's like, no, I want you to get it for me. All right, so I go get her senior shirt. She say, I just hold on to it. I get it from you later. I'm thinking I'm gonna just keep it in my locker and just give it to her. She's like, nah, just give it to me later. She said, you know what, take it home. I said, okay. All right. I don't understand, but she want me to take her shirt home, right? To my home. So we at school the next week, and it's lunchtime. She used to drive to school because she had to drive for her family. Her mama didn't drive, so she had to drive. She had her license early. So she said, hey, lunchtime, let's go get that shirt. I said, okay, let's go. So I jump in the car with her. We ride to the apartment I lived in, I grew up in, south side in Houston. We get there, man. I'm going up the stairs, man. I smell fried chicken. I said, man, it smells like it's coming from my home. I put my key in the door. I opened it up. It was my mama. My mama was there. My mama said, hey, Tony, what you doing home? I said, oh, I came to get this shirt. You know what I'm saying? I came to get this shirt. She said, oh, who is this with you? So the girl looked surprised. But I'm naive as hell. I'm thinking I'm just getting the shirt. I didn't know this girl had set this whole plan up to give me by myself so she could try to give it to me. You know what I'm saying? This how these girls were scheming in high school. Like I lost my virginity at 19 outside of high school, but I had multiple girls trying to give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to set up plans to give it to me. Another time I was on the school bus. I'm gonna tell you this one too. I get on the school bus and this is chick. She say, hey Tony, I get on the bus, she wave, come sit with me. I say, all right, that's weird. She don't never ask me to sit with her. I go sit with her, right? So I get next to her, she had a windbreaker on. So she unzipped her windbreaker and she showed me the t-shirt. And I'm looking at the t-shirt. She said, look, you want to do this? It was a t-shirt that had animals on it. Lions, giraffes, elephants, tigers, all in different sex positions with the name of the sex positions up under each picture. So she pointed at the lions doing the doggy style. She said, you want to do that? I'm a teenage boy. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. So she's up her jacket. I'm thinking to myself, like, where'd she get this t-shirt from? You know? So it come time, she lived in the house. We lived in some apartments and her stop was before ours. So the bus pulled up to her stop and I get up with her. She take me by the hand. You know, we get ready to get out the bus. The bus driver say, whoa, hey, twin, where you going? This ain't your stop. I say, well, we got a science project we got to do. She say, for real? You ain't got no damn science project. Go sit your ass back down. This ain't your stop. I say, nah, we got a project we got to do. She said, nah, you sit your ass back down. This bus ain't moving until you sit your ass back down. So everybody on the bus started hollering, hey, twin, you need to sit down, man. We want to go home. So I go sit down. She made the little girl get out. She made the girl get out the bus. The girl standing there waiting. So we drive. The bus driver drive to our bus stop. And she let everybody off except for me. She said, you going to stay here. We're going to wait till your mama get home. And so she blocked the door. I was on the bus until my mama got off of work and came home. And my mom came down the street. She said, hey, Miss Swin, let me tell you about what happened today. Some little girl tried to get your son. Now, nowadays, we don't really have nobody policing kids like that. I had people looking out for me. But I say it was no shortage of girls trying to give it up. You know what I'm saying? There was no shortage. So did we police our sons or police our daughters more?
You know,
I think it should be.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. So I think that both. You should police both equally. And
Yep.
I think, if you're gonna hold the boys accountable, you gotta hold the girls accountable too. That's the problem. The girls have no accountability for anything. If they had accountability for it, then they wouldn't sit here and they would think twice about it. So I have a revolutionary idea.
Let's go.
For child support. I'm gonna tell you my idea for child support. Court systems, listen up. This is revolution. You want less people having babies? I'm going to fix your problem right now. All right. The man has to pay 20%, right? We all know this, right? You pay 20% in child support. So if I pay 20%, the female has to pay 10%. That means it's money coming out of my account, it's money coming out of your account. You know what I'm saying? So that way, it all goes into a fund, and you can only use that money for something for that child. That means rent, that means clothes, that means daycare. That's it. Anything that's left over goes to college. And I guarantee you, once they have to start paying too, they're gonna think twice before they lay down and have a kid with you or try to trap you with something, because it's gonna come out their pocket too.
I don't even think rent should be included. That's a adult responsibility off the bat. They don't have nothing to do with a kid. Yeah. Child care and all that stuff like that, and child necessities, clothes, food, and all that. Yeah,
I think it should be like an EBT card. Like an EBT card, you can only use it at certain. You use it for food, and you can use it at stores. Like, and I think that card should be where you can only use it at certain stores for certain products that's made for the kid. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said,
and then you'll see a lot of things change. You'll see a lot of single mothers like disappear.
They're actually being held accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a consequence to their action. It'd be a consequence for their action, not only the guy's action, but their action too.
Because right now, man, you got dudes that got custody of their kids, and the mother's ordered to pay child support, but she's not paying anything. They're not receiving it, but they're not holding her accountable. She's not going to jail. She's not losing her license. She ain't losing her passport. But let it be a man.
I put it like this. That card couldn't pay your mortgage, couldn't pay your rent, couldn't pay your car note. Couldn't be used at a liquor store. It can only be used at a grocery store or a department store.
Or Kids R Us, for diapers. Again, like you guys are all saying, I mean, you're pretty much, just preaching to the choir. The problem is it's a double standard when it comes to women. Yeah. When it comes to women involving, let's just call a spade, crime. They don't serve the same kind of prison sentences for the same thing that a man would do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For child support, for custody battles, they don't pay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, the problem is like, it is imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, impartial. It's imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? It's very one-sided and it's unfair. So
if there was more punishment for their bad decisions,
people were held accountable. Here's another example.
Exactly.
Great example. Gervonta Tank Davis, best example right now. Boxer. He right before his fight, his baby's mother called the police and said that he was attacking her. This, that, and the other. They put him in jail. Okay, 3 days before his fight. Okay. Then the day before his fight, she basically perjures herself and says that I lied. You know what I'm saying? She said that I lied. He didn't touch me, this, that, and the other. So this man had to spend money out of his pocket. Okay. Yeah. He had money out of his pocket. The stigma that he beats his woman, right? Once you kind of paint this image of somebody, you can't undo it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what is that? What do you call that? Deformation of character.
Bingo.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So, you have the media and everybody else that are just putting all this stuff out. Whatever happened to guilty till proven innocent? I'm sorry, innocent, till proven guilty. It's the inverse. It's guilty till in America.
When you're a man, it's guilty to proven innocent. When you're a woman, no matter how guilty they are, they get caught in the act on camera. Got the witness right there, broad daylight. They're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. So my heart goes out to this man and his family. Because he's been demonized by the public, by social media, the public, by sports analysts, racist sports analysts at that. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of. It just made things kind of come out even. It was more apparent, and I'm just tired of the double standard. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There should be a law like
there should be a law.
If somebody lie like that, you lie and you find out that that
perjure yourself.
False. You
Yeah,
should have to face. You should have to either pay a fine or spend some time in jail.
prison.
No,
It
it
would
should
be
That
auto-
cut
it
down.
should be
felony. It should be a
automatic.
straight felony. It should be a
Automatic.
straight felony.
Yeah,
Straight
it should be
felony
auto- you
charges. Brought up
perjure
on felony
Yeah.
charges for lying on
Yeah,
somebody.
if you perjure yourself, like for example, if my girl like says that that I beat her up or something like that, and say for example, what ends up happening is there's irreparable damages. I get fired from my job. You know what I'm saying? They don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, fine, you don't show up because you don't show up to work for some shit like that. They're not going to rehire you,
Yeah.
whether you're innocent or not. They don't care. You see what I'm saying?
No,
So
they
it's
don't.
like, who's going
A
to
lot
get
of
me back?
times men don't recover. Men don't recover from these accusations. They lose.
Oh.
They lose their scholarships. They lose their certifications. They lose their homes. They then sometimes they
They
get
lose
lied.
their
They get
career.
lied on as
Happens a lot.
yeah. They get
You
they
lose,
get lied
you
on
lose
as
your whole
as
career, and you
yeah.
have
They
to
get
start
lied
off
on
from
as
square
offenders.
one.
Rape cases. Andrew Tate, best
Yeah.
example. You know what I'm saying? Man
They
is
say-
innocent as everything, but they're just trying to find reasons to smear this man's name, keep him in jail.
Yeah.
They're holding him on false charges. They broke into his house. They took all of his things. That was under. You kind of see what I'm saying? He hasn't even stood trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Due process.
Yeah.
Well, when you touching the masses and you speaking life into people and making them open their eyes, you're gonna always be a target. So they had to take him out. He was preaching too much to men and getting men to recognize their worth.
Here's the thing, though. The thing that's the most disturbing is if they can get him, that means they can get anybody.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
They been getting anybody.
they been getting anybody.
They've
every
been
day.
getting everybody. Yeah. All they gotta
Yeah,
do
because-
is say whatever they say, and that's it.
So the sad
Yeah.
part is basically our due process is broken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they made an example of him and Kanye.
Yeah.
Basically stole his money. They went into his bank.
Yeah.
So
That's all they want to destroy his character, man. Destroy his character, take all his assets.
yeah.
Yeah. Assassinate his character.
Like I said,
All right.
it goes back down
I'll give
to
you another example, Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah,
Cosby.
we're not gonna touch that one. We're not gonna touch that one.
Let's be
Don't
serious.
you,
We're
Brian?
gonna do the pudding pops alone.
No. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. Bill Cosby.
J-E-L-L-O.
All right.
I'm about to
Bill
touch the
Cosby,
pudding
all right.
pops.
Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, right?
No, ABC.
He wanted to buy NBC.
No, it was
Right.
ABC. Not NBC. It was
He wanted,
ABC.
he wanted to buy one of those
Who's
networks.
NBC?
He
Who's
wanted to
It
buy,
was
Yeah.
NBC.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted to buy the network. And then shortly afterwards, they denied. He had the money, and they denied it. And next thing you know, what they do? They did a smear campaign on him over
damn, Skip it.
allegations of rape from 30 years ago. There's a statute of limitations on that. Same thing that happened to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Jackson. Okay, Michael Jackson. Let's call a spade a spade. He owned half of Sony. He owned 50% of all the publishing for Sony, and then they tried to buy it back from him, and he told them no. So what did they do? They created this huge smear campaign that he's molesting children, and they tried to get people to go and fucking kill him. So where did he move? He moved to Bahrain, where he was untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you have either you have power or you have money or whatever, and you're trying to make moves, to kind of maybe push somebody out of the way, the powers that be out of the way. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at it, man. Michael Jackson had international power. He was loved by the world.
Yeah,
That man made people cry just from his appearance. He had too much power. They had to take him out.
But like I was saying, to get back on subject, like it just comes down
Exactly.
that they don't hold them responsible like they hold us responsible.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. If they held them to the same standards they held us to, it'd be a lot less of these
Hey man, society would be better
motherless-
too.
fatherless children running around because they would think twice before, okay, if this happened, I'm going to pay XYZ and do yada yada yada. I don't want to
Yeah.
go through all
Oh, yeah.
that.
Man, like
Yeah.
in other countries, man, women are held accountable for their actions highly. All the way up to death.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Infidelity.
Adultery,
Man,
they stoned to death.
Man,
They stoned him
hey, I'll put it like this.
in public.
I've never been a cheater, but I know a whole bunch of women that cheat on a regular. I never was a cheater. I've been married. Never once did I cheat during my marriage. But I know women that's been married and they cheated at the beginning, after, divorce, get back with the same dude, remarry him, and still cheating on him, and nothing have no backlash. You know, in other countries, if infidelity is found, man, you get stoned to death.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, what's their reason for cheating? Did any of them tell you their reason for cheating?
Life was boring. I'm unhappy. I'm just me and the kids.
He doesn't take me around.
He don't take me. Yeah, he don't do this for me no more. He works too much. That's the main one. He's never around because he works too much. But you got
Taking care
all
of you.
You got
providing.
You got the nice car that you drive around in all day long that he paying for. Nice house, big nice house that you don't keep clean. You know what I mean? And you got it made on Easy Street. You got a life provided for you, but he ain't about shit. And so they cheat, man. They cheat when they feel like it. It was an old cat, man. When I was in high school, it was an old cat. He was about 42 years old. The age we are, around the age we are now. He told me youngster. Saying, listen to me. He go, I'll put it like this. He say, man, you could be standing there with a flashlight on the coochie in the dark and you'll never see who should give it to. He said, think about that. He said, man, she could have a regular routine and everything, and you would never know that she didn't gave it up to somebody. And it might be somebody you know that's smiling in your face every day. You'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a bunch of them stories, man, because we've been in the military. Yeah. So I done seen it, man. I didn't call people's wives climbing out of trunks, hiding in closets, all kind of stuff, man. I done seen people wives throwing parties. Well, they all married. It's all married military wives in there, and they smoking weed and doing all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I done played ball with their husband. I went in there. I was like, man, hold up, what kind of party is this? And I said, man, all these people married. And I see the pictures on the wall. I said, hey, man, I know that dude. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, I got to leave up out of here because it was messing with my mind. You know. It was crazy.
I guess the disturbing part for me is kind of like I don't know when this breakdown started. You know, like where when a husband and a wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend get together, it's like I don't understand where first they expect us to provide, which is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, it's like they have these weird expectations that we have to be something that we're not. You know what I'm saying? Or they have expectations that I'm supposed to be like the guy on television or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Television's television. You know what I'm saying? Or what you hear on the radio is what you hear on the radio. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when did all this change? From when I'm just supposed to be normal to Superman or normal to be something that, that's outside the scope of being a husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be this and that and this and that and this and that and this and this and this and this. It's who created all these expectations?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't have any expectations. Like, we just show up, we do our time, we go to bed.
That's because we're simple. We're simple. We're simple. It's built in our DNA, man, to be a provider.
A poet,
be a provider,
a good listener, a great dancer, a comedian, a bodybuilder.
They want you to be the Dos Equis man. That's what that is. You want to be
the most interesting person in the world.
That's right.
And be home by 6.
Yeah.
And dinner better be ready.
Hey,
yeah.
I remember this comedian saying you like a kid all over again when you get in a relationship with a woman. You gotta be on by the street light come on, and you gotta ask for permission to go do stuff.
Yeah.
Man, you know what the crazy part is?
You gotta ask for permission to go buy something.
I've been in my line of work for 16 years, man. When I finally got married after the first year, and it took me a long time to get to this path. I make 6 figures, and this woman had the nerve to tell me, "I hate your job. You need to quit your job and find something else." But that career paid for all a $400,000 house. You riding around in nice cars. I'm taking care of your kids that you created with some losers who couldn't take care of their kids. And where in your mind make you think that I'm going to backtrack and give up what I worked hard for to earn before you ever came in the picture?
Mm-hmm. You know what that is, right? A stone cold narcissist.
Yeah, narcissist.
Stone cold.
Capital N, bro.
Yeah.
And then they have the nerve to treat you like you the one that's crazy.
Today, we live in a generation. We live in a generation of stone cold narcissists. They don't want to work, and they have these far-fetched expectations on what we are supposed to be and what we're supposed to do.
You know what the crazy part is? I always had the nerve to say, "Oh, she ain't happy. Well, I'm not happy with the way things going. This marriage is not what I thought it was gonna be." And you complaining about having a good life, but your homegirls over here got losers, and they waiting to swap places with you. They started telling you how good you got.
Let's see. Man, let's see. we got a comment from Miss Candy Moore. It says, "Men do that too. I never saw it coming."
Please elaborate.
Now, men do some of the same things. Yeah, but it's but like I said, it's by decision. A lot of times
there's always an action and a reaction. You know, people do things.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, I have nothing against Mrs. Candy. Thank you for your comment. But the thing is, if a man is doing something like that, there's a reason why he's doing it.
9 times out of 10, man.
If a man is truly happy in his relationship and she's running a tight ship, you wouldn't do that.
No, men are real simple to please, man. Real simple to please. Keep it on with
as long as there's respect, right? Which we just discussed. As long as he is the king of his castle and he's being respected, you ain't gonna. There's probably a 99.9% chance that won't happen.
When a man is doing all that he's supposed to do, and he covering all the bases, and then he come home and don't feel like the king of his castle, shit gotta change.
Exactly. But if he doesn't feel respect from from his mate, and he's not the king of his castle, this is what you will expect.
Okay, Chris says he didn't respect.
Please elaborate.
She says he didn't respect.
Miss Candy, please elaborate. Thank you for your comment. Please elaborate greater detail, please.
Well, he didn't respect. Well, it's vice versa. You got good men, you got good women. You got bad men, you got bad women. We're not just saying that all women are like that, but we're talking from our experiences.
Just from our experience. Just from what happened to us.
But it's all the same. Either side. Wrong is wrong and right is right. When you got a dude doing the same thing.
Some people that just do dirt just for the sake of doing dirt. They just want to just see if they can get away with it. You know, they just don't care about the people that they hurt. And I'm not saying people like that don't exist, because they do. You know, men are narcissists just as bad as women. You know what I'm saying? Some people have been through such horrible experiences in their life. They just kind of feel like, well, let me get you before you get me. That's their philosophy. Yeah. Let me get you first before you get me.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna go grab me a water, fellas.
Grab me one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just think of this, man. Like I just wanted to be fair for accountability, man. You know, there's good people, there's good men, there's good women, there's bad men, there's bad women. What we're saying is this: we're saying that y'all are not held to the same standard that we're held to. That's all we're trying to say.
You know, so it is a double standard, 100%.
And also, man, we shouldn't be held responsible for bad decisions that women make. Because a lot of times, like you say, women make decisions, they're not held accountable. Dude gonna be held accountable. He know from the gate that he gotta most men gotta get their stuff together, and then they gotta make something out of themselves. a lot of women go through life just just lollygagging because they know they're not going to be held responsible, and nobody's going to hold them accountable or charge them with anything or make them do something. Let's see. And so, but another thing too is that, and this comes from a lot of guys. You hear this a lot. A lot of women choose bad guys. They choose bad guys on. They choose bad guy, and they make kids with them, and then they try to have a good guy clean up for that bad guy. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of guys talk about it, and it's not like there's a small amount of good guys. You hear all these women say they had good guys all around them, but the good guys weren't attracted to them. Attracted to them.
What did Kevin? What did he say? He didn't make me tingle. You know, it's like you know, it's like
oh yeah.
There's no such thing as the total package. You know what I'm saying? I'm blowing this up because I believe the powers that be are causing all kinds of divisions with men and women. I agree.
Yeah, it's by design. It's by design. But people have to peep it. People have to peep it. But I do believe that some of this will be cut down if we put some of these rules on the women, and it cut down on all this mess. It'll cut down on the child support. It'll cut down on the unwed mothers. People that have a chance to have, it'll be better candidates for marriage. All kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? People start looking at
innocent people in jail are paying consequences because Go ahead.
People won't take it lightly, take it so lightly. They'll respect it more, and they'll respect their decisions more. They'll think more about the decisions they make because they know consequences come with that. Right now, ain't really no consequences.
Because a lot of men,
people just being free.
A lot of men today don't even want to get married anymore. They don't even want to be married because I can't think on one finger like what the advantage in America. I can't think of any advantage for any man in America who actually has anything. Why would you want to be married? I can't think of it. So a lot of men in their minds right now are not even factoring this in anymore. So it's like, okay, you're gonna have a lot of like broken, there's gonna be fewer and fewer marriages and probably fewer and fewer children, families that are actually being created. So, you have some women it's like, damn, dude, so what do I do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? People, men and women today,
now we got another.
They need to hold themselves to a higher standard, and but
now we got another comment.
A lot of lack of accountability. Good. We
got another comment from Candy.
Expectations on daily people exactly. Yes, exactly.
That is true. That is very true.
Exactly. Well said.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. I think that stuff is real. Another thing we can vouch for too. When you get a chance to travel around the world, you see that a lot of people don't care about this material stuff that we care about over here in the Western world, the Western part of the world. They live in comfortable lives, happy lives, less stressful lives, because not worried about all this nonsense. You got people worried about, man, I got to get the bag. I got to have these shoes. I got to have this car. I got to have this purse. You know what I'm saying? He a broke dude. She a broke chick. You ain't got no bag. You ain't got no hustle. And they worried about, man, you get a chance to go travel around the world, you see people ain't worried about that stuff, man. A lot of people ain't worried about all that nonsense.
Yeah, we live in a very selfish, in the West, we live in a very selfish society. And I don't know when this originated or whatever, but it's just like, we have a very, what's the word? Disposable attitude, as if things can be just easily replaced and this, that, and the other. So it's like, once you have a good person in your life, men or woman, this, that, and the other, you don't want to take them for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst thing, because all it takes is one fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You do something bad where you take that person for granted, it's never going to be right after that. Once you kind of break that respect, it's never going to be the same. So you pretty much ruined that, So it's like, people need to kind of really focus on not being so selfish, and be more, selfless, and holding themselves to a higher standard, take accountability for, for the things that, for your shortcomings, and try to, and if you did something wrong, then own it, and I think that would help relationships, in a grander level.
Now, Candy said women expect men to keep the money, and men expect women to look like Beyonce every day. It's selfish. Now I'm gonna say something about this. Now, back in the day, women were able to have multiple kids and still maintain their shape. Today, you got a lot of women look like they done had 20 kids and they had no kids. What's the explanation? You know what I'm saying? And if you look at these men on the panel right here, all of us have looked this same. We're 43 years old, and we have all looked this same pretty much our whole lives. So what's the excuse? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in marriage, the woman will get lazy after marriage. It's just the truth. I've been married twice. I've known a lot of people in marriage. Once the marriage comes, a lot of people get comfortable. It happens on both sides. But a lot of times you see the woman, you tend to see the woman blow up. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, people had more kids. They had them natural, you know, and they was able to maintain small shapes because they was more active. They did more work. They believed in family more. We got these people, man, they just want to lay around and just enjoy all the spoils of life. You know?
Yeah, then, like, you know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, y'all don't want to cook. Y'all go eat McDonald's and all that other stuff. But anyway, this is what I think.
You make a valid point. You make a very valid point.
Yeah, this is what I think, man. It's like this, man. What everybody's not realizing is that all this stuff that we're going through is all just about money. It boils down to money anyway. Think about it. Okay, you get divorced, that's money. You go to court to fight for your child, that's money. You don't pay your child support, now you got to get yourself out of trouble, that's money. Now think about it. All that money you done spent, that could have just went to your child.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? A good man is going to take care of their child regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless. Yeah,
so
regardless.
So y'all need to stop thinking about like this. Okay, I hate this man. Yada yada. He don't want to be with me and stuff. It's not about you anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's about if you're together. If you're together, it's about your family. If you're not together, then it's about your children. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about you. Stop being selfish. Man, too. There's some men out there that do the same thing.
The
previous
comment regarding the Beyonce thing. At the end of the day, you are what you okay. I'm a firm believer. It's like you can't demand what you're not willing to put into yourself. So if you look like a slob, you can't be asking for Beyonce. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't take care of yourself, I'm a firm believer. It's like whatever it is that I expect out of somebody, I have to be able to provide that for myself. So if I'm not in the gym, I can't ask for somebody who looks like that. You know what I'm saying? If I don't cook or if I don't cook, then how can I demand somebody who does the same thing? I know how to cook. She knows how to cook. I take care of myself. She takes care of herself. So at the end of the day, it's like, I demand, I demand exactly, what I put into myself.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see what I'm saying? So if I'm going to put the work into myself, then you need to do the same thing. And if you can't, a lot of people just want to make excuses.
I also believe too that if you presented yourself a certain way physically when you came into the relationship to get that person, you should maintain that to keep that person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because at the end of the day, a relationship is a job. You know what I'm saying? And there's lists of things that you are required to do in order to maintain. Otherwise, you get fired. The concept.
Hold on. Oh, we got another comment. We got another comment. I got something for this one. Hey, hold on, man. She say valid point, but she's doing everything you can't put into herself. Now I'm gonna tell you this though. It's always time to exercise. You don't need to go to the gym to exercise. You can exercise at home. And I'm gonna tell you this one time. This is my first marriage. Okay. My first wife, she used to say, I'm so tired. I do a lot. Being a mother is busy. Okay. Our kids go to daycare for 8 hours a day. Right? That's 8 hours of freedom. Right? Now I was working 13-hour shifts. I'm getting off of work. I'm coming home. She too lazy to get up. I'm making sure they getting up so they can go to daycare so they can learn something. Because she wasn't teaching them that. So I'm the one ironing clothes, combing hair stuff. I'm getting them up, making sure they're in the program. So I said, okay, if it's so hard, I said I'm gonna do everything for a day. I vacuum. You keep your house clean. You don't have to vacuum like once every 3 days. You know what I'm saying? You do laundry once a week. That's it. What's hard about that? You cook a large enough meal, you got leftovers for the next day. So you might cook 2 to 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? But you got 8 hours a day because the kids are gone. And then when they get home, you feed them the food. You make sure they take a bath. You put them to bed. What's so hard about that? I showed her it wasn't nothing, and she was complaining about nothing, and I did it better than her. You know what I'm saying? So I say, how is this hard? Especially when your kids are old enough to go to school, you get free time every day. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got somebody with you, it's not that hard because when the kids are a certain age, they do the chores. You just make sure the meal cooked. And if you got kids big enough, you teach them how to cook. And then you and that man, y'all enforce authority in that house so them kids go to bed, do their homework by a certain time. It's simple. It's not that hard. People be acting like women doing the women that's doing everything is the ones that made bad choices and got them kids by themselves. That's the ones that doing everything. But another thing too, people want to be rewarded for taking care of their kids. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? I was I take care of my kids. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You know?
And what tripped me out though too, some of them have good men that willing to help them with everything, and they still treat that man like garbage.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And that's what tripped me out. Like you got a man who's willing to help you cook, help you clean. Hey, go take an hour to yourself. Go take 2 hours to yourself. I got you. You know? And you still treat that man with no respect.
I used to come home, man. The kids couldn't wait till I got home off the boat because that was the only time they was going to eat a home-cooked meal from scratch. The whole time I was gone, they was eating ramen noodles or bag meals. Then I would come home talking about they clean, and what they clean wasn't the same clean as mine in my world. And then get an attitude when I start cleaning. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, all these men up here on the panel are good men. And you know what I'm saying?
Keep a clean home, can cook for themselves, and make good income.
So we all of us have been in the 6-figure range for a long period of time.
All self-sufficient.
For real. Or have the ability or have the qualifications. You know what I'm saying? But
when it boils down to it, man, to make a man happy on card, 3 things, man: loyalty, respect, and peace. That's it.
It's simple.
I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said. But you know, the sad part is some women just like to stir up shit because they're bored. My girl just wanted to fight with me the other day. We haven't had a fight in like 6 months.
Yeah.
We're driving back from Louisiana, driving back from the casino, and she just want to start fighting with me over some dumb shit. I'm like, are you listening to yourself? She's like, we haven't fought in a long time. And I'm like, and you're like, I just want to, I just want to feel something. I'm like, you want to feel something?
Yeah, that's in their nature, bro.
That's true, man.
They get bored and they want to start some shit with you just to kind of see if you still love them or something. So
if you care, if you care, you don't. If you don't,
huh?
Go ahead, bro. Finish what you're saying.
No, so if you don't entertain it, you don't love them. If you don't entertain the craziness, you don't love them. If you blow it off,
I don't entertain that bullshit. I just like
you don't argue with them and go crazy and blow your top. You don't love them no more. You don't care.
Well, no, she.
Okay.
No, she already knows. Like you don't poke a sleeping bear. You don't wake the sleeping bear. She knows better. But it's like at the same time, it's like it's like really, you really want to go there, But it's like because we don't fight. I think I could count on like one hand, how many times we've had a disagreement. You know what I'm saying?
And what did Miss Candy say again?
I couldn't read it. It was something about. So wait, I didn't get it.
She said, so why didn't they act right? She said, so why didn't they act right? Were they narcs?
Who is they?
Some of the females.
That's the man. The females or the man? Is it the man you were involved with?
No. She talking about the females we was involved with.
Oh, it's just the. I'm not gonna say. Well, yeah,
unstable creatures.
It's our American culture, man. We teaching these women. Well, not just the women. Our American culture is messed up, man, on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
I put it like this.
The reason why this shit happens is because in our culture they are not held accountable. Period. If they were held accountable, if one woman went to jail for the shit that we're describing, it wouldn't fucking happen. Period. You know what I'm saying? So, like child support fraud, if they went to jail for child support fraud, it wouldn't happen anymore. If they went to jail for food stamp fraud, it wouldn't happen anymore. If they went to jail for for not paying child support, it wouldn't happen anymore. but nobody's
yeah.
enforcing.
If they went to jail for lying to a man and having him raise somebody else's kids, and they know it's not that man's kid, and they're in a marriage, it wouldn't happen. People would be scared.
They're not held accountable on a criminal level.
Well, that is not just criminal, but financial level too. It should know.
Yeah.
Not obviously be criminal, but it should
for example, if you're breaking the law, okay, and somebody else is being held accountable for your transgressions or whatever, for your screw up, you know, then you need to be held accountable. Period. You know, so as soon as that stops, you know, then everything else that will probably be 50% of the problem right there, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they have a way, because they know they can get away with it, to weaponize the legal system against men.
There we go.
What she say now?
I was
okay. Now Candy says I was a woman who went through all this.
Criminal. Nobody's calling you a criminal.
No, she said no. She says not nobody's calling her a criminal. She said she went through this without being a criminal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then, Miss Candy, you're a good woman. That's what I'm gonna say. You're a rare breed. You're a rare breed, and hopefully one day you find the right man.
Yeah.
No, I put it like this. In my situation, I was married to a woman who came from a jacked up upbringing. Her mother was running wild, was a dope fiend and all that. She had no structure as to how to be a mother, didn't have a real mother in her life. She ran wild as she was young. She didn't know what a actual household was like without drama. Everybody in her family stirred up drama, was into something crazy, or been in prison, was on some drugs or something. So I believe that was one of the situations why we didn't really work out, because I come from a good home and a normal family with none of those scenarios or situations. And I thought I seen that she really had a dislike for how I was brought up. And we would always argue about it, because I wasn't brought up like that. And the thing that she did, and if it wasn't no drama, she would stir up some at all times. And it drove me crazy. I'm like, hey, we can be peaceful, everything can be going good, and just out of the blue, she would just snap.
Misery loves company.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
People that used to chaotic environments.
I'm sorry.
What's that, bro?
But you know, one thing, she would always complain
people like that
to me
used to
about her
chaotic
baby daddy.
environments.
You know,
she would always complain to me about her baby daddy, but every time me and her had an issue, guess who she would run to and go tell our business? The same one she said that used to beat on her and everything and treat her like shit, threw her downstairs and cheated on her over and over. And then here it comes 2 weeks later, I'm getting a text message or a phone call. Her baby daddy talking some shit about some shit between me and her, how he supposed to know our business when it's the dude that treated you like shit, and you found somebody better when you got with me, but he your run-to guy. You know what I'm saying?
Now we got another comment from Miss Candy. It says, as I said earlier, good women choose bad men. Y'all are a few good men who chose bad women. Now I can say that is true.
I chose
bad women, but sometimes, like they say, sometimes you blind to certain things, and then they get uncovered as you go further in the relationship. I had one lady. I didn't know she used to have a cocaine addiction. You know what I'm saying? We years into the relationship, and then one day we having drinks, we chilling in the house, we having drinks, and then she tell me about how she used to have a cocaine addiction, and how the dude she dated before we got serious, you know, was on coke and was a dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? And had her doing so. If I would have known these things prior,
from John,
I would have never got with her. You know what I'm saying?
Never entertained her ass.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's interesting, which I've noticed in mostly marriages today. These new marriages, people number one, they get married for the wrong reasons. They don't get married for love; they get married for help. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I notice is that they're competitive with each other. You know, you have one side that's jealous of the other side. it makes no. I've never understood why, and I've witnessed many marriages where either the husband's jealous of the wife, or the wife's jealous of the husband, or they're competitive with each other. They're like in competition with each other, trying to one up each other instead of trying to work together collectively. You know what I'm saying, to kind of be, something great. It's like they're going back and forth at each other. And it's like, it's like, why are you two even together? It's like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's the structure of what it is both people are fighting to be the head of the household. That's what it is. It's not competition.
To me, it's not
important. Both fighting for who's going to be the leader.
Right. So for example, it's like at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, for example, like I know for a fact that my girl makes more money than me. I know this. It's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? All that does is like, okay, cool. That's awesome. That just means I need to kind of either A, step up my game, or B, it's just like, okay, I'm happy for her. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, I'm cool with where I'm at in life because I have a very stressful life and I don't want to add any more stress trying to,
Because honestly, a real man has no issue if his old lady makes more money than him. He glad she can put her own weight. She can carry her own weight and put the bill, can help him out on some things. He ain't always coming out of his pocket. A real man is not intimidated by a woman who make more bread than him.
My mother and father, my mother made more than my father. My grandmother made more than my grandfather. But you know what? What's interesting though, my grandmother always respected my grandfather. My grandfather was the king of the castle. He never had to raise his voice, but when he said something, we listened. You know what I'm saying? And I would kind of have to say it was a little different with my mom and my dad, though. It was kind of on the inverse. She, and I'm not, defending either side. This was just my observation. She was kind of more of an alpha female, and he was a beta male. And that's kind of a bad mix. You know what I'm saying? So in a perfect world, most alpha females want to be dominated. They want to have more alpha male. They want to be put in a certain position where they're like, okay, you take the reins and this, that, and the other. And what happens is when they don't get that, they challenge him. They'll challenge his masculinity.
How many happy beta males do you know?
0.
And if they all happy, they delusional.
0. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that is just my observation. And you're kind of seeing more and more of that dynamic today. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot more and more of that today. So the problem is, and again, I'm not defending anybody, but we kind of have like a pussification of our men as well. They're not standing up to these women. And I'm not saying to be disrespectful or nothing like that, but what I am saying is like they need to be fucking men. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these dudes are not equipped. They're not equipped to be the man of the house. They basically, they're living with their mother until they're 35 and then they finally move out. We moved out when we were 17, 18? 18. We had jobs and houses and we're self-sufficient, this, that, and the other. They don't want to, like today's generation they don't want to grow.
See, but another thing to add that to that, no man in the house. No man in the house. So you got a lot of these ladies babying their boys and don't want them to leave because their sons are their son husbands. You know what I'm saying? So you got that going on a lot in today's world too.
You made a really valid point before when you were talking about how some of these women are purposely raising their sons to be weak because they spite their father. You remember
what's wrong with these youngsters nowadays? These young men, they so damn emotional.
Yeah.
I remember this guy. I forgot what I saw. It was on Instagram or something. This guy who had been to jail, and he was talking to one of the older guys and said that most of the people are in jail, though most of the guys who are in jail are because they're emotional.
Yeah.
They say they say that, when men have female tendencies and have that emotion, that they're dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have somebody like us, a man, we're capable of being very, very violent because we could be very, very physical. So when you have that emotion mixed with that physicality, you know what I'm saying? You catch me on a bad day, I might just hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said, so I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but
according to statistics, most men that are incarcerated come from single parent households from women, or a single mother household. They're
very
more
emotional because a real man know how to restrain himself and use that strength for good. And control his temper and all that. Things rational. Don't make emotional decisions. Make rational decisions off logical decisions. You see that a lot. And these youngsters, man, I bumped head with some of these youngsters. They're like little girls. They're little girls. They quick to snap about anything and everything, man. They just start wilding out and start tripping. And the females, the funny part, they're like the young girls nowadays, they don't even spaz out like these little boys do.
Yeah, because they're taught to be more masculine, and we're taught to be this generation taught to be it's reversed, it's flipped.
They spaz out. They spaz out because they want to challenge a man to a fist fight. They spaz out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we see that.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is
man, you ain't accepting us. You ain't upsetting us with your comments, Candy. You good? You good?
Actually, you're bringing up some good questions.
I hope I'm not upsetting us with the comments. Nah, the comments are good. Keep the conversation going.
No, Candy's cool.
Back to,
no, but the problem is
Candy.
The roles are reversed. They're reversed. You know what I'm saying? We have toxic. You have women that are claiming, bitching about toxic masculinity. The problem is men are not being men because they're raised by women. You know what I'm saying? And then you have women today that are disrespecting men. They're not giving them respect. You know what I'm saying? Because they're taught to be masculine. You know what I'm saying? This is how they're taught. You know what I'm saying? And then the problem is you have these beta men that are just going for it. They're not stepping up. They're not doing anything. Because they're living with their moms and they're being coddled until they're fucking 35. They want to trophy.
Put it like this.
I
put it like this. You see this, the men that's always on these podcasts and all that, the men that's always talking about these certain situations are all good men, stand-up men, got good stuff going for them, good futures, careers, and all that. Notice none of the pookies are complaining because the pookies get catered to. You ever notice that?
Yeah, they love them.
The pookie will run that car empty on no gas, take their money, hang around them, wait on income tax to come around, blow the income tax money. They love his dirty draws. But that dude that get up and go to work every day, provide for the roof over their head, pay all the bills and all that, they want to test his manhood. But they don't test Pookie, who's running them broke and poor and giving them gray hairs and putting babies up in them and sleeping with their homegirl. But he get catered to and get treated like a king. And then the dude who deserves to be treated like a king get treated like a peasant.
You want to know why? Because that's what they came up with. That's what they respect.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but it's like people that grow up around that are attracted to that. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want. So, if you have a woman that basically grows up around people that sell dope and beat them up, that's all they're going to respect. So if you're not beating them up and you're not selling dope, they're going to think like you're lame and they'll cheat on you to be with somebody like that. And you give them everything, but that's not what they respect. It makes no sense to me, but that's the philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
Man, I had one girl cut me loose because she said she got with me after about 2 months. She said, man, I got with you because you had the thug look. You look like a thug. You got the tattoos on your hands and all this and all that. She said, but you lame. You just a square. You a regular ass dude. You go to work. You don't do nothing. You don't smoke no weed. And then she dumped me and went back to her baby daddy who was all that. And then jumped on social media to complain about a relationship.
Right. It's interesting how women complain about excitement. They put excitement before like the things that fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like the necessities, and then you have excitement. They put excitement before necessity.
Yeah.
So you have this. It's completely broken down.
The priorities in the wrong place. It happens a lot in this side of the world. It happens a lot in this side of the world. They're worried about the action and the fun. And they worry about the big picture later on. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I took a break
and the
from
whole
social
men
media.
and the whole men accountable. A lot of times men don't get focused until they get in their 30s because we still trying to build ourselves up. You know what I'm saying? We usually start in this world with nothing. We have to build ourselves up. Like they say, women are born with their beauty. Some we have the world given to them from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? So they go around partying and stuff like that. The dude, he trying to figure himself out and get to that space where he's established. So we usually establish around our 30s, and I say that's pretty around a good age for a man to start thinking about a serious relationship or marriage when he's around that time, because he didn't had his run, and he should have himself established, and he should be able to know what he wants out of life and the family and the legacy. So.
Yeah, because women beauty fade. You're not gonna be beautiful for forever, and there's always somebody that's gonna come up behind you that looks a little bit better. You know, like I just think that we should everybody need to be responsible, man. you know, it comes down
Yeah,
to it on both
yeah,
sides.
I think
You
yeah,
know,
if people be
but
more
like I said,
responsible,
y'all
but
get it, y'all get away with a whole bunch of stuff y'all shouldn't get away with on accountability.
We had a neighbor back in the day. His name was Don. He had a son and a daughter, and he used to be he took his son everywhere he went, tried to teach him stuff and get him set up for the future. And then he was talking crazy to his daughter, and I'm like, man, why you talk to your son in a nice manner and you talk to your daughter crazy? He said, look here, man. He said, I'm gonna put it like this: if I don't teach my son right now on what he needs to do for when he become a man, because when I die, he ain't gonna have nobody but himself to rely on. He said, my daughter, all she gotta do is find her sucker and she's straight for the rest of her life. And when that sucker run out of his time, she can go find another sucker. She's still gonna be straight. But he ain't gonna be able to have that reset button like her. And then I just stopped and thought about it. I was like, he do got a point. A man gotta have something. He gotta provide for himself. A woman can always find somebody to provide for her.
it's true. I was at a car dealership one time. Dude told me that. He was like, I was trying to get a car when I was young. I was trying to get an SRT Challenger. And dude was like, oh, man, I know you make enough money, man, but your credit. But if you was a lady, we'd give you the car because you got your daddy to depend on. You got your boyfriend to depend on. You got some dude that'll pay a car note for you. But, man, hey, just come back with your credit right. But if you was a lady, we'll get a car to you right now. I was like, well, yeah.
At least he was real with you, because I'm caught.
Yeah.
You know.
Now I'm gonna say this, guys. We coming. Yeah. We coming to the end. And if you like what you're hearing, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and share and comment, man. Subscribe to the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. And also, man, check out King Davis King. Yeah, hit the like button, folks. And also check out King Davis King Thought of the Day YouTube channel, man. And we are on all podcast streaming platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Audible. We everywhere, man. Google, we everywhere. Give us a listen. Make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen? Let's get them out. Let's see.
Well, I'm
gonna say
like
this, man.
Go ahead, bro.
Everybody, man, men and women, make better decisions. Think about everything you do and how you move, because it can have consequences on your future, especially when it comes to children and relationships. You know what I'm saying? Think seriously about your future before you get into marriage or you make a child with somebody. Is this the person I really want to be with? Or they're going to add chaos to my life and they're going to have a kid in the middle of their chaos? Or is this person, do we share the same morals? Are we going to build together? Or is this person just an opportunity to try to take half of my belongings? You know what I'm saying? Think before you think.
Choose your decisions wisely, because your decisions have long-term effects that you can suffer from a long time. Pay attention if you're considering being with somebody in a relationship. Always pay attention to their character. Study them as well as you study yourself. Don't settle for less. Always hold yourself high. Always pay attention to that next person's family also, because you'll see a lot of details when you pay attention to their family members. You'll find out a lot about the person you're dealing with. Because when you deal with them, you're going to be dealing with their family. And that's my note.
Me, I agree with everything y'all say, man. They are pretty much hit the nail on the head, man. Only I'm gonna add to it, man, is on both sides, man and woman. You gotta be loyal. You gotta have respect for your partner, and man, try to have some peace in your house, man. Nobody want to come home to carry that house, you know. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
peace is priceless.
I would just say both parties need to hold themselves on a higher standard. You know, we need to kind of understand, number one, there's a problem. You know, there's a problem the way that the status of, you know, where we are today, and we need to basically hold ourselves accountable. If we're not happy with the way things are, we need to actually collectively just make decisions to do something about it. You know, instead of being adversarial about it, let's just try to work it out. At the end of the day, it's like, just the energies that we put into the universe, you get right back. What you put in, you get right back. God don't sleep. Communicate. You know what I'm saying? If you're not happy, communicate with your mate about what issues that it is that you have, and you can try to work them out to the most amicable level. But more importantly, if you just kind of know that it's not working and you guys are not collected, and you're not a team, that just politely part ways. That's it. That's it.
What they really see.
It doesn't have. You don't have to have a war. Nobody has to lose anything. It just didn't work out, and that's okay. It's just more experience under your belt, and the more people. I always say this. People should actually have more life experience with people, because the more people you date, the more people you see, the more you realize what you like. But what you also learn is what you don't like, and that's it. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree, brother. Totally agree.
But that also means you don't need the spirit to see with everybody. Also, all right. Life experience always have to deal with sex involved. That's how kids come up. But all right, man. Thank y'all for watching. It's your guy T Swin. We got JB, the real King David, and Captain T, man, and we up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in with us, and see y'all next week.
Captain T out.
Music, this is way more than music. This is way more than music, this is hope. When life becomes a slippery slope, too hard to cope. And if you listen close, hear the angels in the notes. Sometimes it's just a fix you need because it's dope. It's medicine, it's magic, it's spit.
I'm loving this energy you're giving me now. I'll do what it takes to keep you around.
Y'all got a purpose in this life. While we on this earth, find your dedicated lane. Don't listen to these haters and backstabbing neighbors. Fake friends and family with snakeskin layers. Take that vision that's up on your board and put it in your prayers. Get yourself up out the bleachers in the game and be a player. Them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel. Them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel. If you really want to win, my friend, then keep trucking. This is not a game, the name is keep trucking. If you really want to win, my friend, then keep trucking. Tell them this is not a game, the name moving pounds and kilos, transactions with 3 zeros and up. Just for moving product in the truck, no prints, no touch freight. From down south to upstate, a call and the right paperwork will open up gates. POD, BOL with no CDL. Under 10,000 pounds, I don't need a scale.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, and I want to share with you about CTR Media Network. Have you heard? CTR Media Network is a new standard of podcasting with over 30 plus podcasters. We reach 350 million global listeners worldwide in over 50 plus countries across all major podcasting and social media platforms. We have featured over 1,000 guests. What we specialize in is helping business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, and fellow podcasters expand their visibility on our platform. We're all about positioning with visibility, connections, and teaching you how to monetize what you do. Let me tell you something. If you're a business owner, we have sponsorships opportunities. We have commercial slots. We also have opportunities for you to be a featured guest on any of our shows. So what are you waiting for? CTR Media Network is who we are, and this is where you need to be. So go to ctrmedianetwork.com and click our store feature so that you can see which opportunity fits your life and your budget so that we can get started working with you today.